welcome everybody. Thank you for joining. Once again, Dre Devot's here, systems engineer. I am now finally joined by Brian McKay. How you doing, Brian?
Good. Better now. Thanks.
All right. Today we're going to be talking about those enhanced CUCM reporting using SCSR, severely concealed seconds ratio. Please note that these webinars are always recorded and posted within 24 hours, and you can always review them at any time. Check out the webinars page at verify.com for all our past and upcoming sessions. And you may see all these videos on YouTube channel if that's easier for you. All right, first off, we're going to do a quick overview what Verify can do for you. Then we're going to jump into a live demo where Brian's going to guide us through that SCSR report quality issues. We're going to pause for Q&A during the demo. If you have any questions, make sure to ask them in the chat. After Q&A, we're going to reward one lucky attendee with a $50 Amazon gift card. So hang around and see if you won. Verify is the preferred analytics and management solution tool for Cisco Call Manager, Contact Center Express, Cube, WebEx calling, Zoom phone, and now MS Teams collaboration. Deployable either on-prem as a hosted cloud solution, we provide industry-leading call reporting and analytics, as well as customizable dashboards and widgets. Also, we still have CUCM management modules like remote phone control, change management, and dial plan management. If you have any questions with any of our features, please contact us at support@verify.com or reach out to your account manager. All right, one more thing before we kick this off. For an additional fee, Verify offers an enhanced consulting service to our customers. Verify's SE team engages with you on a one-on-one basis remotely provide additional consulting, report building, dashboard configuration, and system monitoring assistance. This is a service that provides you with a dedicated SE to do the heavy lifting, giving you a stress-free, hands-off experience. For more information, please contact us or one of your account managers, and we'll be glad to speak to you more in depth about the pricing and terms of service for our ECS platform. All right, now that we got that out of the way, all the bugs are out. Let's get to the wild.
Fingers crossed. There it is. Perfect. Okay, cool. So let me get my script up as well because I don't want to just start rambling incoherently here. All right. So thanks everybody for joining today. Sorry for the technical issues at the beginning, but I think we've gotten past that. So before we get into this, let's and Victor told me to do this, by the way, so I hope I don't put anybody to sleep in the limited time we have, but let's get into a brief history of call quality metrics. So in the beginning, there was MOS score, and it was not so good. I don't know if people have used MOS reporting a lot in the past, but the problem with MOS is that it's not terribly reliable because the score can fluctuate depending on which codecs are in use. So it was originally developed around the 711 compression method, but as new codecs came out, like that score would fluctuate differently with different codecs. So it was kind of hard to get a reliable read. You could have the same call with 7 different codecs and get 7 different numbers out of MOS. So that was a problem. It also isn't really applicable to SIP calls, so it's not really that relevant by today's standards. And in fact, I think Cisco even stopped reporting on it for a while, and then they brought it back because people were complaining where the MOS scores go. But if you've ever tried to run a quality report and verify in some of our past builds and gotten a report back, quality report back with a bunch of NAs for not available, where the MOS score should be, then you know what I'm talking about. We see a lot of those back in the day. So the MOS scores were not terribly reliable. It's still available in Verify in the current version. You can select it, but it's not really the ideal method. We prefer that you use going forward. There's some of the other older metrics like jitter, latency, packet loss are still pretty reliable, but the MOS has just never been terribly reliable. So as MOS fell out of favor, things moved on to concealment ratios, which is another option still available in Verify's reporting. We've had concealment ratios in there for a while. Concealment refers to techniques used to mask or mitigate the effects of packet loss during voice transmission, such as using buffering and error concealment algorithms, things designed by people a lot smarter than me that can help smooth out the call quality. However, the concealment time and ratio metrics were generally more focused on, just average concealment, general concealment, which, while it's able to show potential voice quality issues, usually the concealment was such a low level that it wouldn't really be that noticeable to the human ear, and it wouldn't really affect call quality overall. It wouldn't really affect the user experience that much. And also, honestly, here I'll just just to show you what the old concealment ratios look like. It was a little confusing trying to figure out what you were supposed to use for the the time and the ratio and et cetera, these 4 fields here. So we've kind of simplified that all in 16.1 with the minimum severely concealed seconds ratio, or SCSR, which I keep confusing with SCSI, SCSI. So hopefully I won't say SCSI during this call. Yeah, so this is just kind of a one-stop, one-setting thing. You don't have to mess with any of these other things. Like I said, they're still available if you want to try to pull those metrics. But this is really what we would prefer people use going forward. And this is probably going to be the most useful and the easiest to set up as far as reporting. So let's see. Oh, one more thing. Yeah, if you are interested in learning more about the concealment, we have a pretty excellent webinar already on this. Let me see. I think I had a link up to it somewhere. Yeah, this one. So if you go to our webinars page and search for quality metrics, Vic did a really excellent video, and honestly, I stole a lot of this information from this one. So if you are not asleep by now and you want more information on that, go ahead and check that one out when you get a chance. But we'll just move on here. So let's get into a few examples of this. Basically show you how to put together a report and how to build some dashboard widgets on top of that. Now, the beauty of this is you don't really need to build the report because we have it available in a template. So if you go to our, there's a knowledge base article on this as well. If you look up concealment, you'll see this knowledge base article, and just kind of shows you what this report does. As you can see, there's not a lot to it because there's not a lot you need to put in. It's a pretty simple report, but it's got the link to download the template pack there. So this is just a group of templates. They're zipped up in a zip file, and they're .json files, JSON. And you can basically just import these into Verify quite easily. So let me cancel all of this for a second. If you go to where it says create report, you can just go to import reports. You can browse to where that zip file is and select it and just import it. And it's going to dump a bunch of files called template, or reports called, with the prefix of template in here. So here's a couple of them here, for example. We'll go back to mine. So this was based on a template. That's what I'm using today. I didn't really change much at all in it. You don't really need to. So we'll just kind of go through what this report entails. All it really has in there is for call scenario types, you're looking at total calls. And if you scroll down here to the call quality search criteria for the severely concealed seconds ratio, all you have to do really is put a value in here. So the values go between 0 and 1. So what we're looking at is anything that is 30% concealment or higher. So Cisco actually has a little bit more stringent view of that. So their criteria for severely concealed seconds is 5%, whereas ours is 30%. So basically, like it says here, represents the time during which a significant amount of concealment is observed. If the concealment that is observed is usually greater than 50 milliseconds, or approximately 5%, the speech probably does not seem very audible. I mean, that's obviously below, anything below that is probably a perfect call to the human ear anyway. And at this level, you might start to notice a little bit of hiccup, but it shouldn't be too bad. So 30% is kind of more of a baseline for really bad quality, which is what we're looking for. We're looking for calls where the quality was just really bad and choppy through most of it, and most of the call is pretty much indecipherable. So that's where we get this 0.3. You can, of course, adjust this up or down as you like, but this is kind of the baseline that we're using. And you can also narrow this down in the criteria. Like if you want to see if there's a specific, site maybe that is having higher quality issues than usual, you can also add some grouping for partition. You can do calling party from party number partition, and then it's going to pull all your partitions from here if you want to look for that, or you can do it by what's the other one? Partition, device pool. You can do it by device pool, same thing, and those will all be available too. So you can use that method to kind of narrow it down. But for now, we're just going to do all calls. This is pretty simple. lab environment. So we don't really have many of these calls to begin with, honestly, but I'll show you a few just so you can see what they look like. So we're just going to keep it simple for now. We're just going to look at the total calls that have 0.3 or higher or 30% or higher on the concealment ratio. So we're going to group it by originating and terminating device name, call count highest to lowest. So that means the devices or the DNs that have the highest amount of concealment issues are going to show up first on the list. We're just doing a top 10 list. There's not even 10 on this list, to be honest, but you can do up to 50, or you can just leave it blank and just have it show everything, which, you know, for a large environment, you're probably going to want to do this. But typically, you know, if you're just looking for like repeated instances on the same device for a clue of what may be going on with either a specific device or a specific, you know, device pool or network segment or something, that's a good thing to have to be able to narrow this down to the top 10. So other than that, we don't really need to do anything in that. For call history details, we're going to make sure we have the severe concealed time, seconds, and ratio added, as well as the call duration, because you're going to want to compare these to this just to see, you know, how, I mean, the ratio will tell you how bad it is too, but, you know, you basically want to see how many seconds of the call were concealed versus the total seconds of the call. And that's going to give you your ratio. And then I don't think you need cradle to grave for this. It's pretty straightforward. So we'll go ahead and say that. And I think I ran it already, so I'll just pull it up here to save time. I know we're running behind. Where did I have that? Was it? Oh, I think it's this one. Yeah, this one. Okay, so this is the one I ran earlier. So this will show you the device names, descriptions, device pool, and then the call counts. And then down here is where we're going to get into the actual concealment ratio. So call duration was 82 seconds. 60 of that had severe concealment. So that's obviously really bad. That's basically 73%. You know, same thing with this one, 531 seconds. And 225 of that, so it's 42% concealment. So that's basically how you tell how bad the concealment ratio is just looking at this ratio or just comparing the number of seconds here to the total number of seconds on the call here. So obviously the higher the worse it is, and also the shorter the call, the worse this would be. So, you know, 38 seconds on an hour-long call is not a big deal, but 38 seconds on a 3-minute call is not great. That's pretty bad. So that's basically what it's going to show you. And then you can use this to build some additional widgets if you want to monitor this in, you know, real time or as close to real time as we can get it. Let's go over to the widget section that I built here. So there's some different views you can do, all using the same data, so you don't have to build like, you know, 5 different search sets for 5 different widgets. You can just use the existing report search set. So if you scroll down here, oh wait, what was it in here? Sorry. So I just picked it from the drop down here. Here's the report we were just looking at. So I just pick it from the report list here. And then you still have to go in and set some details. So it will use the criteria, but it won't use the detail or the grouping basically that the report uses. It will just use the search criteria. So you still need to come in and add your call duration, your, you know, concealment times and all that. I didn't put as much in here just because of the, you know, you don't want to try to cram too much into a widget, but and the same thing with the report. Try to keep it under 10 columns if you're using PDF. If you're using more than 10 columns, then you're going to want to go with HTML or Excel or something that can handle the wider formats. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I did was just pick that, add these in. And then I'm looking at current week. All the examples are from yesterday when we basically fudged this data in a lab to have something to show you because we didn't really have any naturally occurring quality issues in the lab. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's all we need to worry about there. So that this will show you the device name, or you can use extension if you prefer. And then the call duration, and then the concealment time and the concealment ratio here. You can also do the pie chart view here of the top 10 devices that are having concealment issues. I guess it's more of a donut than a pie, but either way I'd eat it. Looks good. So that's that. You can kind of hover over the slices here to get the number count and the extension. You can do it by the time period. I did current week, and it's just grouping it by day of the week. But you can do this by anything from quarter hour up to monthly. So you can basically slice it up any way you want. If you want to see, those tables that show any spikes in your in your concealment activity, basically. And then we have this is basically just the top end grouping here. I did it by device name or by directory number. Same thing with the counts. It just shows highest to lowest on the grouping on the device and the call counts. So let's see. I think that is pretty much all I had. I kind of rushed through it a little bit because we were short on time, but yeah, I think that pretty much covers the basics of it. Any questions from the audience, Dre?
Not as of yet. I did put a poll out there. If you guys want to go ahead and answer that for me, just a little poll. See if you guys are going to Cisco Live.
Oh, that's right. I unfortunately will not be able to attend this year, but I hope you guys have a blast out there.
Give them a couple more seconds here to ask any questions that you might have. Let's see. Someone asked, does this also apply to users?
I believe you can do it by users. Let's find out. Here, let's edit this. Yeah, so we should be able to do instead of, oh, wait a minute. What we're using, we'd have to edit the report criteria. Let's go do that. Let's see. Yeah, so it's using, oh yeah, so it's doing cold talk. Okay, we'd have to, oh, actually we could do it at the widget level because it's going to be doing in the grouping, not the search criteria level. So let's go back to that. And let's change the grouping on this. So let's see. It's down here. Okay, so instead of originating, terminating device name, we would just do user, end user. You can do end user ID or end user, full name, first name, last name, etc. I'm just going to do originating and terminating end user ID. And then let's move these to the top of the list here. Or actually, let's put them right below datetime origination. That's good. Okay. And then now this is assuming there's any actual users associated to these lines. I'm not sure if there are, but we'll find out in a second here. Taking a little longer than I expected. Yeah, no end users associated. So if you had end users associated, they would show up in there. But yeah, since these are just kind of test lines, I don't think any users were associated. But yeah, the option is available to put those in there.
All right.
Somebody also asked, I just saw those columns can be relabeled. Yes, you can relabel. If you go into configure, and here under reports, hold on, why is this not coming up? There we go. Okay, so you can do custom label sets where you can relabel those. Basically, you could relabel any of the column headers that you want with a custom label set, and then you just in the widget or the report when you run it, you can select the custom label set. Let's see, it's going to be. Where do you select it in the widget? Existing call report. Custom. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure you can do it. I'm just not sure where it is in here. Oh, it's not on the widget. Okay, so you might have to do it from the report level. Or may not be available in the widget. It may just be available in the report, actually. But yeah, in the report. So when you run the report, let's see, reports. So when you run it, it's going to give you the option to not additional clusters. Or actually, no, I think you set it when you edit the report, not when you run it. It's been a while since I used custom labels, obviously. Let's see. So, okay. Set fixation. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank where you set that. Where do you set that? Custom label. Oh, it is when you run the report. Someone's telling me. That's what I thought, but I didn't see it. Okay, let's try it again. Oh, there it is. Label set. It was right in front of me. Okay, yeah. Then you pick the label. So it's going to default this to system default, which is just all the standard Cisco terminology. But you can pick the label set from here to apply it to. Yeah, I don't know if that. I don't think that translates over to the widget, though. Unfortunately, I think that's only available in the report for now. So, or it does. Okay. All right. So if we. Obviously, I don't have one built, but you know what? Since Matt's the one who just suggested it, I'm going to use his. I don't know if anything's going to show up different, but actually, I didn't mean to. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, okay. So calling device description. Yeah, it did change up some of those fields. Okay. Let's see. Does it do it in the dashboard too? No, it didn't translate over, so I'm not sure. Okay, so at the dashboard level, oh, okay, you have to change it in appearance. That's where it is. Oh, now it's hiding it down there. Okay. All right, there it is. Okay, it's grayed out. I got to do widget. Okay, there, you can do it. Okay. Thanks, Matt. Glad someone was paying attention. Yeah, yeah. I don't really deal with custom labels a lot, so yeah, a little rusty on that. Sorry, guys. But yeah, okay. So it is available. You just have to know where to look. That helps. Okay. Any other questions?
I think that's it, Brian.
All right. Well,
We're right up on it now. Yeah. So.
Yep. Yeah. All right. I had to do a Matt level of speed talking to get through that one, but I'm glad we made it. All right. I'll hand it back to you.
All right. Join us next week, everybody. We're going to be at Cisco Live. We are having an appreciation event, so please reach out to your account manager if you would like to join us for that event. Should be really fun. Excited to see a lot of you guys out there. And then stay tuned for our next webinar on the 12th. Should have something fun for you for that date as well. But once again, thank you everybody for joining today. Sorry about the technical issues, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
All right, thanks guys. Have a good one.